Are your boobs real? A lot of people can tell when things are fake versus authentic. After you and Gio moved to Austin, how did you both go about making new friends? We did not go about making new friends. How did you manage to work with so many activewear brands? I reached out to how do we feel about honors and consistency with material? I don't want to have to freaking go through every single launch being like, this fits like differently from the last 2 launches. How? Hopefully it's a little bit more stable now. Hello, I've never done a get ready with me before. I have all of my little like makeup products here and whatnot. I asked y'all to indulge me in a couple questions over on Instagram as well as YouTube. Make them spicy, make them a little bit crazy, make it juicy. You guys did not come through with the juicy questions, at least in my opinion. I've had way more juicy questions than this in just my regular Q&As and whatnot, but this was a little bit more wholesome. It was a little bit more on the side of like y'all wanting to get to know me, and I feel like there's a lot of new faces, especially over on YouTube. I'm actually filming a Vitality video today. It's for their newest winter collection and I'm so excited. I actually have my little outfit for the video sitting right there behind me. So with that being said, let's just go ahead and get ready, answer some questions, have you all get to know me a little bit more, and hopefully I can successfully do this, because if there's one thing about me, I can't multitask to save my friggin' life. So we're just gonna hope for the best and hope that my makeup turns out okay too. So starting off with brows, where's the thing? Oh, I also dropped this, so it broke, the lid broke. But this is the Morphe Supreme Brow Sculpting and Shaping Wax. I'm starting off with my brows, and then after I'm done with just all of my eye makeup, I'll then go ahead and move on to my actual face makeup. But first question, we're starting off mild, guys. What is your ethnicity? I am 100% Vietnamese. That's it. Sorry if you already explained this in a video, but what started your fitness journey? I started my fitness journey back in high school. I found that I really enjoyed volleyball. Like, I loved volleyball back in high school, and if you guys remember high school, it was literally just like you playing sports from time to time. Like you had a day of volleyball or you had a day of dodgeball or whatever the case may be. Once I graduated high school, my friends dragged me out to like the local YMCA and we lifted weights for the first time. That blew my mind. I was like, oh my god, this freaking 45-pound bar, how much does this even weigh? By the way, this is the Morphe Micro Brow Pencil. A lot cheaper than the Anastasia Beverly Hills one, and it comes like with a dual brush on the other side as well. So once I went to university, I just started working out at the gym there. Really liked it. Only hit legs, did not touch my upper body until I graduated college. Like, what is a tricep extension? What is a cable machine? I couldn't tell you. I was doing cable pull-throughs. I was doing all sorts of crazy leg exercises, inventing the freaking wheel. Yeah, I just ended up really liking the gym, liked how it made me feel. And I was just on that grind of trying to grow my little booty because I was not blessed. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's how I started my fitness journey. It was literally via a YMCA in my friend's neighborhood the summer after I graduated high school. Fell in love with it ever since, and I just never stopped. It's been 8 years later and I made a career out of it. So I think that's pretty freaking dope. What activewear brands did you first buy when you started working out? I remember buying Old Navy leggings when I first started working out and I hated them. Guys, oh my gosh, leggings back in the day, man. I wore Forever 21 and I loved Forever 21 leggings. And then once I started interning for, if you guys live down south, you're familiar with Academy Sports and Outdoors. I interned for their marketing department one summer, so I was very much in Academy all the freaking time. Started getting into Nike. Oh my gosh, I wore those Nike Pro leggings, those Nike Pro shorts, them booty spandex shorts with the elastic waistband that said Nike, 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 Nike. All day, every day. I loved them. I remember literally doing a story haul one day to my 100 followers from, you know, college and high school, being like, all right guys, this is my little activewear collection. It took up one little drawer.
Some of my top recommendations, and I'll put it in my little like highlight thing on my profile so you guys can look back whenever you want. So yeah. Okay, next up is surprisingly Forever freaking 21. Ladies, if you ever see me wearing black, it's probably from Forever 21 because it's just so affordable and actually really comfortable. These are the first 2 capris that I've ever bought like 4 years ago and they still hold up to this day. I also have a few pairs of shorts and some biker shorts as well. Honestly, this is probably less than $50 and it lasts for years.
Hobbies outside of working out. I just love anything that has to do with creating. I feel like content creation has really allowed for me to explore what my creativity looks like, and I just love building upon those skills, which is why I do want to prioritize YouTube more this year. So I would say like this, what I'm doing, like activewear reviews, YouTube, all of this is a hobby of mine, and I'm just very blessed to have been able to sustain it and call it my job. Aside from that, oh, I've recently gotten into bread. I love baking and I used to bake so much, but I just don't have the time to do that anymore. And I also just like spending time with my friends, whether it be like exploring new food places in Austin or new activities, new sports. They're really into tennis, like really into tennis. Oh my god, I love to go bouldering, just things like that. I just find it so much fun. We went to play pickleball one day too, and that was also so much fun. So yeah, just exploring any sort of like physical activity. Oh, also I'm going in with my Morphe palette. This, oh my god, this is probably so friggin' old. This is the Copper Spice 25A eyeshadow palette. I only use Morphe palettes. I don't really use anything else. Like, this is my tried and true, and this eye look that I'm doing right now is the eye look that I've always done. I don't even like stray away from the colors that I've been using. I just use the same ones. But anywho, are your boobs real? I feel like it's so rare to be slim and still have big boobies. Well, first of all, thanks for thinking that my boobs are big. I think that they're very like normal sized boobs, but I am blessed. You know what I'm saying? Not that there's anything wrong with small girls or big girls, but I've never had to really think about my boobs before, so I'm really grateful for that. So on that topic, yes, my boobs are real, but I don't think being slim has anything to do with, or having like a petite frame, I guess, has anything to do with your girl size. I think that's just straight up genetics, you know what I'm saying? But yes, my boobs are real. All right, let's jump into just a couple of relationship questions. Oh, also the colors that I'm using. So in this palette, I'm using this color to just go like all over my eye. And then I'm using this color just for like the outer corners, barely. I don't really go too crazy with like any type of smoky look. It's just to add a little bit more dimension to the outer, but like that's it. And then I'm gonna obviously clean it up with concealer later. But now I am going in with my NYX Matte Finish Finny Matte Setting Spray, and I'm just spraying it a little bit because I'm about to use some of these more sparkly colors. So I typically use this one right here for just like the outer portion all the way up to until like the middle, and then clearly this one because it's already hit pan for like the inner portion of my eye just to brighten things up a little bit. How long have you been with your boyfriend? I have been with Gio for 7.5 years, so it's been a hot minute with this man. He's my best friend. I love him so much, and he's just the best, guys. I could cry talking about Gio. After you and Gio moved to Austin, how did you both go about making new friends? Making new friends as an adult is hard, especially in a new city. LOL. That's something that I'm still working on, guys. I find that it is extremely difficult to make new friends, and I feel like I've tried doing that, and every girl that I meet at the gym who I end up like vibing with so well, and we are just like hitting it off, and I'm like, we should work out together. They're like, oh girl, I'm actually moving out of Austin in like 2 weeks. Or I'm only here for the summer, I'm going back to school. Girl, what the heck? It's every single freaking girl who I talk to. On that note, I do feel like some of these girls who, you know, are in the city and whatnot, they're just very established in their friend groups too, and aren't necessarily looking to add anybody else in their friend group, which is fine. It's fine, but I do find that it's a little bit harder to make friends because I do spend so much of my time at the gym, and if I'm at the gym, I'm at the grocery store. If I'm not there, then I'm with my friends or I'm at home working. So that makes it even more difficult to like get out, because I still don't feel like Gio and I have really explored the city to the best of our ability, because of the fact that like we're just both always working, and if he's not working, he's at home because he doesn't want to leave the house, and I'm always wanting to leave the house, but I don't have anybody to go out with, and all my friends live in like opposite sides of the city now, so it makes it even harder. So long story short, we did not go about making new friends. Actually, hold up, I need to like focus on this first of all. And I have a lot of questions from girls who ask me about my, you know, eyeliner routine. So here you go. I'm gonna be quiet for a little bit. Maybe I'll put some like ambiance music over this. Next also I'm using the NYX Professional Makeup Epic Ink Liner. I don't really like felt tips because I feel like over time they kind of like soften and you can't get like a super sharp wing. That's a good little wing if I do say so myself. Nice. Actually, they're not even, and that actually is really bothering me. Changing up my eyeliner look from what I've previously done, as you guys saw. I don't know if I like it just yet. It's supposed to make your eye a lot more elongated and cat-like, but I don't really think I see too crazy of a difference. What helps you stay positive in the hard times? I'm very much a person who is in my head. My therapist calls her Janine, and I'm like, bruh, you literally are saying I have multiple personalities. And he's like, no, just if you give the anxious feelings and thoughts a name, it kind of helps to separate those emotions from like who you actually are and what's actually real, I guess. I jokingly would be like, oh my God, Janine, like shut up, or be like, oh my God, Janine's talking again, da 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 da. But it has helped so much in terms of like separating myself from those thoughts and just understanding that like this is Janine talking, this is not Tracy talking. I really do just have to separate myself from those things that I'm feeling and I guess look deeper and find out like, okay, why is this making me anxious? Why is this making me nervous? And what am I currently going through in this season of my life? How have I overcome these issues before? And if these are things that I'm experiencing for the first time, what can I do right now and then tomorrow and then the next day to, I guess, like pull myself up out of this rut or this hard time or whatever the case may be. Isolating yourself is the easiest thing to do in hard times, but oh my gosh, it's just so detrimental to mental health because whether you feel like you don't have anybody to talk to or that nobody will listen or that you're like burdening them, that's a matter of like your friend group first of all. But I feel like I've been very blessed to have the friend group that I have now where whenever I'm going through hard times, I can just rely on them and vent to them about these things and know that like they will listen to me. They won't dish out judgment. So my friends and Geo help me stay positive in hard times, as well as just, you know, what I mentioned before, separating myself from those feelings, just taking steps daily to either put myself in a better mindset, whether it's how I start my day, how I end my day. And yeah, so I really hope that helps. And if you're asking this out of, you know, your own personal experiences of you having hard times right now, then I really hope that, you feel better soon. This is the Ilia Super Serum Skin Tint SPF 40. Is this the shade ST10 Porto Ferro? So I do about like half. Oh crap, I need to spray this. No, no, it's gonna freaking fall off. God, that was terrifying. What's it like being Asian American in Texas? Love a SoCal Asian girly, just curious. I don't know what this question is implying. Actually, maybe I do know because, I mean, any one of y'all who don't live in Texas, who come to Texas, always just think it's like straight up cowboys and like people holding out guns, shooting at the sky or whatever, and like horses. It's not like that, you guys. Especially growing up in Houston as well. I feel like Houston is such a hub for the Asian American community. I don't have any other experience to compare it to, so I don't really know how to answer this question. I added just a little bit more of a pump, and this is what she's looking like right now. I just did a little mist of setting spray, just a little bit. I'm going in with my concealer, so I use the Fit Me by Maybelline concealer, and this is in a very light shade, 25 medium, as well as the Ilia True Skin Serum Concealer. This is in the shade Wasabi, and basically I just use a lighter shade on the inner portion of my eye just to brighten things up a little bit, as well as like in here, because I've been watching a lot of makeup videos, guys, and apparently this little portion of your eye gets really dark, so putting a little bit of like a lighter concealer in there just brightens up your eye even more. So just a little bit, right? Nothing too crazy. And then I go in with the Ilia concealer on the outer corners, as well as just any problem spots on my face, which I will do in a second here. What was it like transitioning out of your corporate 9-to-5? How full circle is this, guys? The last Q&A, or maybe the first one I've ever done on this channel, it was last November, and that was the first time I told you guys that I quit my corporate job because somebody asked me what I did for a living, and I hadn't, up until that point, I hadn't told you guys about, you know, me quitting my job to do this yet because I was just really afraid of judgment. But that's just an insecurity that I'm currently working on. If you guys watched my previous vlog, you would have seen, because my parents found my YouTube channel and that was like a terrifying experience, but it ended up well. Whenever I quit my job last year, I had already had my coaching business all set up and everything. I was currently taking clients and I was about to onboard new clients. So I feel like I was set up pretty well. But in terms of like what would happen afterwards with content creation, never expected any of my life this previous year to happen. Like it was just so crazy because 2 weeks after I quit my job, I flew out for the Vitality pop-up, had an amazing experience. The Monday that I got back from the Vitality pop-up is when Honor Active reached out to me and asked me to be an affiliate. But then after that, I had 2 photo shoot opportunities with Paragon Fitwear, and then 2 months later, I signed with Buff Bunny Collection, like the dream company. I literally manifested that for years and years. Ever since I started my fitness page at the end of December of that year, Vitality invited me out to shoot for their Cloud 2 collection. Everything was just so crazy. I feel very blessed because it taught me to get a hold of things fast. You know what I'm saying? Like I just had to learn things so quickly and just really keep up with the demands of these brands demands and whatnot, as well as just like my expectations of myself. Because if there's one thing about me, I will never go back to corporate. I will never go back to corporate. Like, and I think because of that mindset, it just propels me to work that much harder because I have everything to lose. Just seeing how crazy last year was, like putting 100% into my passion, into what I love doing, into my hobby now turned my job. It's just opened so many doors for me. I just feel like I'm just starting. You know what I'm saying? The hardest part of transitioning out of 9 to 5 is literally the lack of 9 to 5. I have no schedule. Like, I can wake up whenever I want and go to sleep whenever I want. But when I tell you guys that I am so much busier, exponentially busier than I ever was in any corporate job, in any internship, in any college position that I had, or just part-time job even, like I am so much busier now than I ever was before. And I love that though, because I just love what I do. And I don't mind waking up at like 7:30, working till 1 a.m., which was actually what I had to do for Gio's birthday, because I just had so much on my plate at the time. Yeah, it's just kind of like the name of the game. And I guess that lack of routine for somebody who's very much type A, it was difficult to not have like a clock in, clock out schedule because I'm working all of the time. I wouldn't trade this for the world. I'm very blessed, I'm very grateful, and I love what I do. Oh geez, I hope that makes sense. And that was a really long-winded answer to that question, but I hope that answers your question. Just spot concealed a little bit. Just a little bit, nothing too crazy. Just a little bit of another spritz. Something that I learned from a beauty YouTuber. I'll put her YouTube somewhere up here, but I love her content so much. And that was just a tip that she said to do. Anyway, how lucrative is content creation? What is the most lucrative, YouTube or Instagram? Before I answer that, I'm using the Hourglass Translucent Setting Powder. So I'm just basically going to tap some. I'm just gonna set my under eyes. And she also said that what you wanna do is like dip, tap excess off, dip, tap excess off, so the powder gets even more fine. Okay, to answer the second part of that question first, because I feel like I wanna address that. The most lucrative social media platform for you is going to be the one that you enjoy doing the most, the one where you feel like you can build the most community, posting the content that you enjoy. I personally feel like all three, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, could be extremely lucrative, but TikTok for me is not lucrative. And I know for a fact that TikTok is extremely lucrative, but I don't enjoy posting short form content. I love posting on YouTube. I love posting on Instagram. And while yes, Instagram, it's still short form content, it's just different than TikTok, man. I just feel like TikTok is a whole different beast in itself, but I just don't like it. I've been trying to do better at TikTok and I just can't. I just can't. Also, I decided to set my whole face because, I don't know, I feel like I was a little bit too shiny. And for that first question, how lucrative is content creation? Extremely. I've always said this too, like for my friends who are interested in content creation, I've always told them, you don't have to be passionate about content creation and being an influencer and da-da-da. It's just that you have to like something enough to want to share it with the world. And if you like something enough to feel like the urge to share it with the world, then you're going to find ways to do that. And if you land success from that, then like, that's amazing. If you're just doing it for the game, I don't think that's gonna resonate well with people because I feel like a lot of people can tell when things are fake versus authentic. And if you're sharing something just to make some coin, people can tell very easily. So yeah, I hope that answers your question. Sorry, that was so freaking long. I feel like this Q&A is gonna be so long. Let's curl my lashes, and I usually use the Maybelline Lash Sensational Mascara. That's waterproof, okay? Because my Asian lashes cannot withstand non-waterproof mascara. I just can't freaking do it. They just kind of go whoop. How do you feel about your YouTube audience? I remember you saying that it was mostly male. Genuine question. Love you. Love you too. My YouTube used to be on the wrong ratio. You know what I'm saying? As of the past, I would say like year or so, it's transitioned back into, I mean, I still think there's a lot of men on here, but I think it's a significantly smaller percentage of men versus women. But I love my YouTube audience. I love you guys, especially, I don't know what it is, but y'all have been so engaging on all of my videos, leaving comments, asking questions and things like that. And I'm like, wow, I don't know what I'm doing differently, but apparently it's the right thing to be doing because y'all stay asking me questions and like engaging with me, which I love. So I love my YouTube audience. I feel like it's just so different from Instagram. Although I do think a lot of my YouTube audience comes from Instagram. It's just a different space because I just feel like I can open up a lot more and just have much deeper conversations about things, which is again why I'm saying that I just don't think that I can really do the TikToks because I just gravitate towards this so much more. I watch YouTube videos so much more. I barely even go on TikTok, and I just like longer form content. So naturally, I like creating a lot more long form content. But I love you guys. Y'all are amazing. Do I have any favorite activewear YouTubers? Oh, girl. Abso-freaking-lutely. The OGs know. I used to watch Hope Scope a lot. She's transitioning out. I mean, she's been transitioning out of activewear for a long time. Aside from Hope Scope, I love Catherine Mueller. I'm a big fangirl of Catherine Mueller, guys. I freaking love her reviews. I love how honest she is about everything. And I'm like, that's what I'm looking for. I don't love every single legging that I try on, and y'all know that. Like, y'all know I'm gonna be honest in my reviews, but I just love how honest she is and how detailed she is, because that's how I feel like I am in my reviews as well. Like, I just have kind of like an eye for things that people don't care about. Like, the way that I be talking about the stitching on these butter leggings versus legacy, I'm just like, dang, does anybody even care about this? But yeah, I just feel like I'm just super type A, and I'm just very like detail oriented. So I gravitate to activewear YouTubers who kind of mirror the same traits, because that's just kind of like what I look for too. Bailey Stewart, for sure. I friggin' love her content. Ashley Gata, love her content. Like, those 3 YouTubers for activewear are girls who I watch pretty religiously. Like, every single time they upload a video, I'm like, watch, like, you know what I'm saying? How did you manage to work with so many activewear brands? I feel like everyone I see online is committed to one company and then tells me they love every single item that launches. Sus. I come to you for real deets, just wondering how you managed. Okay, first of all, I get this question all the time too, about like if I ever would go exclusive with a brand, or if I see myself going exclusive, and my answer is always no, because I just love activewear. I don't see myself working with one company. And I also get this question of like, what's your favorite brand out of all the brands that you work with? And I was like, I can't answer that, because if I had a favorite, I'd be exclusive, but I don't. I love like a couple of things from every single brand that I work with, which is why we're here today. I feel like, so on that note, I feel like the girls who do go exclusive, it is because they just love majority of what that brand is, what they stand for, their mission, values, like their community basis even, and of course their clothes as well. To each their own, right? But that's just not the case for me. But how did I manage to work with so many? I think it's just more so about like me being in my own corner, working on my page, growing my community, and just posting content that I really resonated with, that I really loved to post. And because that aligns with the brands, they just then want to work with me. I feel like that pretty much is the case for all these brands. Like, they're constantly looking for new affiliates, new athletes and whatnot, but they're more so looking for like the community basis, whether you align with what the brand stands for, and then they would just love to work with you. But I will say, I reached out to Buff Bunny Collection. They did not reach out to me. It was last September or October. I DM'd them. It was such a long shot. I remember talking to Abby about this. Oh, also this is the Milani brush in Berry Amore, shade number 3. I love this blush. It's so good for like a powder blush. I also have the Rare Beauty one that my sister got for me. I was talking to Abby and I was freaking out. I was like, what do I say? Like, they're definitely gonna say no, but I just want to see what they say, da, 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 da. And so she helped me like with my little draft of what to send them. And I essentially was just like, hey, I'm just in my little corner over here. This is a super long shot. I don't even know if you're gonna see this, or if you're even looking for like additional people on your team. But I've been a Buff Bunny Collection fan for forever. I love you guys so much, everything that you stand for. I'm also a Houston native. If you guys are in the market for new people on your team, I would love to explore, you know, just for one launch, like 1 month, just a month collaboration. Let me show you what I can do and the effort that I'll put in for your launches. And I would love to kind of explore what a longer term partnership looks like. They were only looking for athletes, and they were like, actually, we love your page. We love what you're about, and we've had our eye on you for a long time, but we see that you work with so many brands, so we just didn't know like if you were interested. So that's why we never reached out. But like, you know what? We would love to see what this looks like and what you kind of had in mind. So yeah, let's do a 2-month collaboration. And that was during the Off the Grid launch, which I loved that launch. It was so like neutral, which, you know, y'all know me, I love me some neutrals. So we worked together on that launch. We worked together on Black Friday, and maybe it was like right after Black Friday, they reached out. We were like, we love you. Like, we want to extend our partnership for another like 6 months, whatever. We ended up working together long term. And like I said, I didn't think that they were taking on affiliates at the time. And I was like, man, it'd be so freaking cool if I got to work with my literal dream brand. Like, this is the big brand that I've always wanted to work with. And I'm just so blessed that they said yes and that they saw my potential. And I'm working with them on a much closer basis now. Like, I got to fly out to Houston multiple times for content houses and such. My ultimate goal with them is to do a photo shoot with them, because man, their photo shoots go crazy. I actually just signed on with them for another year. I renewed my contract with them. But yeah, like all the other brands, they just reach out to me. But in this case, I did shoot my shot with Buff Bunny Collection, and I'm so happy that it worked out. But yeah, but let's go in with another coat of mascara. I'm gonna curl my lashes again. What do you do with all your active wear? Aren't you running out of space? Yeah, I run out of space all the time. I feel like I've answered this question multiple times now, you guys, but like, let this stay on my channel. For any active wear that I don't wear, not even that I necessarily like don't like them. I give away active wear that I like all the time, but I keep a lot of the ones that are like staples for me, first of all. Anything that I feel like my friends would like or that I just have way too much of. Like, for example, the Honor Active All Day cargo joggers. I have like 20 of those pairs, guys. And so I'm like, I can part ways with a couple colors, you know what I mean? Any new projects coming soon? I'm thinking of releasing a workout guide. It's something that you guys have asked me for a long time, especially for those who can't afford one-on-one coaching per se. I would just love to expand my product offerings for the coaching business. And then in terms of like social media, I am planning on uploading at least 4 YouTube videos a month, not necessarily not necessarily weekly. I don't have any sort of cadence at all, but I would love to be more consistent on YouTube. All right, setting spray one last time. Lock everything in. I did that liberally. How do we feel about Honor's inconsistency with material? It is frustrating for sure. Any inconsistency with any brand in terms of fit, feel, things like that is frustrating. I deal with it with like some of the other brands that I work with as well. But I feel like with Honor Active specifically for like their seamless, at least with effortless fitting differently than others, I will say just with like the knowledge that I have about seamless fabrics and just color dyes in general, different colors do fit differently depending on the dye. And because it's made from like a machine, you would expect it to fit the same because the machine is supposed to make everything kind of like more consistent, right? Because it's a machine, it's not like hand sewn or anything, but sometimes it's not consistent and the material changes and stuff, or it feels stiffer than others and some feel more plush than others. So that in that aspect is very frustrating. I don't want to have to freaking go through every single launch being like, this fits like differently from the last 2 launches or from that specific color that launched back in 2023 or the first ever colors that launched back in 2022. I'm like, I don't want to have to do that either. So I would love if we had a little bit more consistency so that way things just kind of fit like what you guys are expecting them to fit like too. And last but not least, and how cool, like we just timed everything perfectly to finish the makeup routine with the last question. Clothes that are flattering on athletic bodies. Hulk in a dress isn't the vibe, even if I love my muscles. Girl, I think that whatever makes you feel confident is what's going to fit you the best and is going to be the most flattering on you. I think confidence goes a very, very long way. It sounds like you're super proud of like your muscular or athletic figure, but maybe the clothes that you're wearing just don't emphasize that beauty, or you just don't feel the most comfortable or confident in those clothes. So I'm a huge advocate of wearing whatever the freak. My mom is on this channel, so she sees me cursing, she'll be like, I think you should wear whatever the heck makes you feel the most confident, the most comfortable, and that is going to be the most flattering on you. And this goes for every single person ever. Okay guys, this is the final look. I ended up curling my hair and then I put it back into like a little half pony and I added a little bow. It's giving coquette, it's giving ballerina core, you know what I'm saying? And this collection is just so cute. Let me show you guys my outfit. I'm wearing the Cloud 2 pant as well as the corset tank. And then for my lips, I ended up using the Too Faced Lip Injection Lip Gloss. And what shade is this? Glossy and Bossy. So anywho, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, got to, you know, learn a little bit more about me and then, you know, took away some tea or life lessons or whatever the case may be too. I'm gonna go ahead and film this Vitality review, but until then, I will see you guys later. So bye!